Here's your problem right now. You want to make money online, but it just hasn't clicked for you. You keep switching from business model to business model, and you make next to no progress in any of them. You're being told by somebody on TikTok that you should do this business model, and then minutes later you're being told by some YouTuber that you should do a different kind of business model. And it's creating this environment for you that leaves you with zero progress in any of them. Maybe you've tried copywriting, building an agency, dropshipping, e-commerce, affiliate marketing, and you haven't made progress in any of them. But maybe you've realized this, but likely you haven't. All of these people telling you to do different business models, they all have one thing in common. Ironically enough, they all actually run the same business. But in most cases, they're not telling you to do that one that they actually do behind the scenes. The best business model out there is to build an audience on social media and then monetize that audience with some sort of digital product, whether this is a service, a course, a coaching program. That is what every single creator or influencer is doing in 2024. Don't get me wrong though, they'll tell you to start a copywriting business or to start an agency or even worse yet, do dropshipping. But they all actually run similar businesses where they post content on social media and then they monetize their following and their audiences. But there's one problem though. In order to create a digital product, you need to be an expert in a subject. Imagine fitness, for instance. If you're an expert in that, it's quite easy to translate that into some sort of digital product or course. You could run a coaching program, teaching people how to get in shape, lose weight, gain muscle. You could create an online course. You can create an ebook that you can sell. Pretty straightforward. But if you're anything like me, when I was first getting started, I wasn't an expert in anything yet. I was 18 years old. I didn't have a whole lot of life experience. And to be totally honest with you, I wasn't looking for something that was going to make me millions overnight. I was more or less just looking for something that I could make 5 to 10K per month with that could launch pad my success into doing something that will make me millions later on in the future. And even if you do have some sort of expertise at a young age, I commend you. If you do have an expertise in fitness or some other field. But even then, you likely don't have the skill sets of running paid ads, creating short form content on social media, actually monetizing your audience, how to do sales, how to do your taxes, how to actually deliver results to people, how to do accounting, how to do bookkeeping, operations, product management, hire and fire employees, and much more. Pretty much, you'd have to be responsible for everything required to actually run a business. So if we know that creating content and monetizing an audience is the best business model, but we can't do it yet, here's what we should be doing instead. What you actually need to be doing is you need to go out and work with an entrepreneur that is running one of these types of businesses. They have an audience on social media. They're trying to monetize it right now. And what you're actually going to do is you're going to go in and you're going to work with them, essentially helping them in monetizing their business more. And for me, when I was 18 years old and I had next to no money, no experience at all, this is what I did. You're going to go in and you're going to work with one of these business owners, one of these entrepreneurs, and you're going to assist them in growing their business, which is going to create a win-win scenario where you can build your skill set, you can build your experience, and you can make 5 to 10K per month without any previous experience or a college degree. Then, a few months or a few years down the line, you can start your own business with some of the skill sets that you're building and be able to go from zero to whatever you want pretty quickly. What's required? Well, you do need the work ethic of a dog. If you're just going to be some lazy piece of shit, honestly, just get off of this video right now and go look up how to make money online the easy way. There's numerous videos on YouTube, 10, 20, 30-minute videos of this fucking idiots that are sitting there, head back, hands up, acting like making money online is easy. And don't get me wrong, those videos do a great job pulling in attention and views and whatnot. So if you're just going to be some lazy piece of shit, go watch those videos for the next 2 years until you find out that none of it works. None of it actually works. None of it will actually build you a real business. And then you can come back to me when your head's screwed on right. Another thing that's required is a high school level of knowledge on how to actually communicate with people. And then the third thing that is required is you must have this it's really hard to explain, but you must have this innate awareness that what you've been told your entire life has mostly just been a lie. And you've been brainwashed by your parents, the school system, and much more into living a safe and comfortable life. So I know what you're probably thinking at this point. Who are you? And if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Trevor Gundrum. And pretty much, I got into this make money online space when I was 18 years old. And in 8 short months from starting at complete scratch, I hit my first 10K per month online. And then I did exactly what I said earlier. I actually used that to leapfrog into starting my own consulting business with my business partner that I currently run to this day. In fact, I should actually be working right now inside of that business, but don't tell him. And that business now currently does between $50,000 to $60,000 every single month and is growing rapidly. And with that being said, I've been able to do a lot of cool shit. I mean, this is a picture of me and my dad. We went to Florida and we went for a run. He's getting up there in age, but he can still, put in work while he's running. So we went to Florida, went for numerous runs together, went on vacation. This is me and my grandmother, who's 90 years old. Me just spending quality time with her. This is me actually in the Canary Islands, which is off of the coast of Africa. And since I've been able to build this business, I can work entirely remote. And I actually went here for an entire month with a couple friends, and I worked there the entire time, which is pretty crazy. This is a picture of me scuba diving off the coast of Mexico. I'm big into swimming and scuba diving. Had a blast doing that. And this is me also in Mexico scuba diving inside of a cenote. And it's actually kind of dangerous, this one, because there's actually a layer of sulfur that makes you go more or less blind about halfway down. So very thrilling and very fun. This is me, my business partner, and 2 other clients that we were working with, all taking a trip to Mexico, where then again, I actually worked for an entire month there, totally remote and off the grid. This is a picture of me doing a little over $3,000 in 1 week time period. And I had done about 7.4K for the month. So I had a pretty big week. Let's see here. This was my biggest day running this business before I got into doing my own consulting, which I'll talk about in a second. I did a little over $2,000, 2.8K in 1 day, which, by the way, it's really cool because that right there is $1 million a year pace. And then this is weekly payments that were hitting my bank account. So I think for this month I had generated a little under 5.8K. And then this is our consulting business, which I'm still running now to this day. And this was a time period from January 1st to February 27th, where our business had done 110K in 57 days. So pacing 55 or even a little bit higher than that $1,000 per month, and we actually had a 10K day. Pretty crazy stuff. But it wasn't always like this. And I'll be so honest with you, most people will try to hook you in on some like rags to riches story. Oh, I was homeless before and now I'm a millionaire. That wasn't necessarily the case for me. I grew up in a middle class family in Wisconsin with a sibling. I had great parents, and I lived what you would call an average life. But for some weird reason, right around the age of 17, I started developing this crazy desire inside of me for greatness, like this burning desire. I wanted to be the best at everything that I touched. I wanted to make a lot of money. I wanted to be in great shape. I wanted to be the best in the sports that I competed in. I wanted the best possible girl, and so on. And when I graduated high school and attended college my freshman year, something happened that absolutely enraged me. And it's probably happened to you before too. I started seeing all of these young guys on social media between the ages of like 16 to 23. By the way, I'm 21. I saw all these people between the ages of like 16 to 23 all making fuck you money online, all making more money than doctors. And for a second, I didn't even believe it was possible. You know, I would just like go into these people's comment sections and be like, oh, this guy's probably a scam. And this guy's, not actually doing that amount of money. He's just lying to you. And then I started really studying them. And I realized that they were actually, or most of them, I should say, were legitimate. And I realized that it was possible and that they weren't lying. And it pissed me off even more. Like, I literally got so fucking enraged. I'm not going to lie to you. Not from the sense of me being jealous of them. No. I was pissed off because the entire route that I was being taught by my parents and teachers on how to be successful was complete and utter bullshit. This message that you have to go to college, then you have to study super hard, you have to get a good GPA, and then you have to go get a job, go try to get a 6-figure job, and then be super loyal to that company, and then save your money, and then you can use compound interest, and you can invest in your 401k, and then when you're 65, you can retire with all this money, and you can live out for 10 years before you're dead. That's what I was being taught. And for a lot of you guys, it's a very similar process. That's what everybody is teaching. Your teachers, your parents, and it's actually not even their fault either. But this is what I was being taught. And when I started seeing all these people making money online, I knew I had to make this work. I saw this as like my gateway to not have to go down that shitty life. I began looking into ways to make money online after seeing this, but it became very daunting to me with all the opportunities that were out there. I started looking into things like dropshipping, copywriting, e-commerce, SMMA, affiliate marketing, and so on. But I didn't know how to actually run a business myself. I was a high school graduate with no real skill in running a business. I didn't know how to do taxes. I didn't know how to do marketing, sales, and all this other stuff that is required to actually run a business like that. And what I actually stumbled upon was the idea of becoming a scaling operator, which is pretty much just an advanced way of becoming an appointment setter, which if you're familiar with that, you'll kind of know what I'm talking about. If not, no big deal. But I'll talk about that in a second. What was great about this, though, is it pretty much allowed you to work with an entrepreneur that already had a great vision. They already had a great product. And you pretty much just go in and partner with them to sell more of their products to a market that's already looking to make a purchase. And the reason it works so well for me is at the time I was just an ordinary person. And it was the only thing I found out there that an ordinary person could actually do. And it actually made sense. Something that didn't require major tech skills, huge startup costs, or years of marketing experience. and I didn't even have to create my own product. After seeing this, I landed my first role relatively quickly. It was about 2 weeks after doing this that I actually made my first sale online. By the way, this right here is like where I was attending college at the time. I'll talk about this in a second, but I'll show you why this is important later. After about 2 weeks of landing a role, I made my first sale online, which my first sale ever was to somebody else's low ticket product that they had already created. And guess what? My first commission was $1.40, which to most people is embarrassing. But to me, it changed my life. And that $1.40 opened my eyes up to what was actually possible. You see, even when you just make a penny online, it opens up a whole new world for you because you can actually see how it's possible that some of these people are breaking out of the matrix, as you might call it, and making money online. After finishing my first month as a scaling operator, I ended off at around $400 in total commissions. Not bad at all for some broke college kid with no real purpose, no idea what he wanted his career to look like, and definitely didn't want to just go down the traditional route of working a job until you're 65 and then you have 10 years to live with the money that you have to scrape by with for 40 years until you're dead. The biggest difference, though, when I was doing this kind of work where I made my first $400 is when you're doing a role like this, you're paid based off of your skill. And, prior to this, I'd worked some shitty 9-to-5s where you can just kind of show up and be a lazy piece of shit and still get your paycheck. This is a little different, though. But I went my first 2 weeks working 20 to 30 hours a week without making a single sale. And even then, after that, I made my first sale, which was $1.40. And for me, my first month, I must have had a really good, week 3 and week 4 of that month to hit $400 because I was not pacing that at all at the start. But again, I went my first 2 weeks working 20 to 30 hours a week without making a single sale. And for most people, that is enough to quit. The upside, though, is when you're good at what you do and you put even more effort into it, you make more money. So for instance, for me, I ended off the first month at $400. Month 2, I got much better at my craft and I actually worked harder. And I actually ended month 2 at around $3,700, simply just because I got better and I put in a little more time. And guess what? This continued to happen every single month. Month 3, I ended off around $4,400 in total commissions. Month 4, $5,100. Month 5, $5,900. Month 6, $7,400, which you can actually see in this picture. This is actually month 5, $5,900. And then month 6, $7,400. Month 7, $7,600. Month 8, the elusive $10,000. I hit my first $10K per month and I immediately dropped out of college, which allowed me to go even further because I had more free time, which I put back into this, hitting my first $15K per month. And then after that, I met up with my business partner. He's the African-American one right here. And we started a consulting business that now, after doing it for about 2 years, is doing between $50,000 to $60,000 every single month, and it's growing. And quite frankly, the reason it does well is because of the same skill sets that I was developing from the start. They're still being applied to this day. The best part, I was doing this from my beat up college dorm. It literally looks like a fucking prison cell. I was doing this with a simple iPhone 8, 20 to 30 hours a week. Maybe you, for instance, you're thinking about going big and making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year or per month. That's great. I love that. Or maybe you're Maybe you're watching this video right now and you just love an additional $3,000 to $5,000 on top of what you're already doing at your job. Regardless, this will get your foot into the make money online space. And as you keep getting better every single month, your income reflects that because there's no cap. And after going through this process myself, I feel called to help other young men go through a similar transformation because it changed my life and I wouldn't trade it for anything. The hours of sacrifice of not going out and partying during my college years, all that I had to give up, I wouldn't trade it for anything. It was the best decision I've ever made. And I know that everyone watching this video right now has a purpose and a calling from God. And honestly, I know for certain this is mine. And to be totally honest with you, I already have a successful consulting business, right? Like I showed you guys here, we're currently doing between 50 to 60 grand every single month consistently, and it's going to keep fucking growing. Most of the YouTubers and TikTokers that you guys watch, the main way that they're making money is based on what they're selling. So if you stop buying, they go broke. But pretty much here, this is the 5 steps that is going to be required for you to go through a similar transformation so that you can go from complete beginner, or maybe you're already doing something like this, to $100,000 a year, all online. First off, step 1 is getting your shit together. Non-negotiables. Get in the gym 4 times a week. Totally eviscerate any bad habits that you have in regards to junk food, drugs, alcohol, porn, addictions, video games, etc. You need to cut that out. You need to start reading money books every single day. And you need to find young people that are slightly ahead of you in your journey, and you should actually be willing to pay to join communities and circles of influence like this. There's a saying that I live and die by, and this is applicable at every step of the journey. If you want to make more money, you have to become the person that is worthy to make more money. If you want to make $100,000 a year, you have to become the type of person that is worthy of making that kind of money first, and then the money will reflect it later. That's applicable for $1 million a year, that's applicable for $10 million a year, etc. Step 2, we actually don't want to start a business. Most people think that to make $100,000 a year, they need to start a business, and that is stupid. Because at this point, you shouldn't be trying to find something that is going to get you rich fast and make you millions. Another saying that I live and die by, the thing that's easy to build is easy to destroy. Stop looking for shit that's going to make you a lot of money really quick. Because that same thing, even if it does work for you well, it's so easy to destroy. I think crypto is a perfect example of this. Sorry to my crypto fans out there. That's just my opinion. At this stage, you just need to make your first 5 to 10K per month. But more importantly, whilst doing that, you need to build your skill set. Because again, these will be applicable in the future when you start your own business. You need to start something that has little to no startup cost. There's no product that needs to be created. There's no previous experience that's going to be required, and there's no service delivery or fulfillment. And a great example of what the way that I kind of think of it is there's 3 main things in life. There's money, skills, and time. If you want one of them, you have to trade the other 2. If you want more money, you trade your skills and your time. If you want more skills, you trade your money and your time and you learn. If you want more time, you trade your money and your skills to get your time. And the only thing at this stage you should be looking at is becoming a scaling operator, which is very similar to becoming an appointment setter or a closer. When you find the right opportunity, you'll make $5,000 to $7,000 per month. It requires a high school level of knowledge, and it allows you to start stacking money on the side for a future business. Step number 3, once you're 100% convinced on the ins and outs of becoming a scaling operator, it's time to get to work. We need to actually go out and land our role. And there's some things that I teach and whatnot of optimizing your profile and reaching out to the right opportunities and whatnot. You can kind of pause here and study this if you want. Pretty much though, the most important thing is finding the right opportunity. You need to find somebody with 10,000 followers or more on social medias, and they're growing, posting content and whatnot, or they're running ads. You need to find somebody that's running a high ticket program. This is important because if you want to make $10,000 a month, you want to be getting fat commissions. You don't want to have to make that like I did when I was first starting by just selling a bunch of low ticket stuff where you have to sell hundreds, if not thousands of units to hit 10K per month. And you need to, most importantly, you need to work with somebody that has values and they're purpose driven. They're not just trying to make money. Option one is you can reach out to these people. This is how I landed my first role, and this is totally doable. Option two, though, if you want to shortcut all of that, you can pretty much partner with me, and I'll talk about what that looks like in a second, where I can essentially place you in a business like this. Then step 4, get to work and start making money. At this point, you can start to make money. It's a continuous journey from here of getting better every single day. You know, people say like getting 1% better, and also scaling multiple opportunities at the same time. And then lastly here, number 5, use the money, use the skills that you're developing. Hopefully by now you're getting close to making $100,000 a year. At that point, you've saved up a little bit. Now you're going to actually start your own business and your own digital product. You're going to start building an audience on social media. You're going to learn the current industry of what you're going to be selling or pushing. You're going to create a new and unique solution, and you're going to start at a discounted rate until you have social proof. This is the 5-step process that you need to go from complete beginner to $100,000 a year. Now, with that being said, I've created something that you've never seen before. I've created an academy of men between the ages of 18 to 30 that are all focused on self-improvement and are looking to crush it in this new age of making money online. And from my experience, success requires the following recipe. You need the right information from the right person, from the right environment. And honestly, if you're looking for the next shiny opportunity that's going to come in the next few months and then also die off in the next few months, just get off of this video now and just stay stuck forever. I mean, there's plenty of influencers out there that are looking to make more money whilst not giving a shit about you and the results that you get. Go work with them. But if you're serious about making a change and not wanting to continue this vicious cycle of jumping from opportunity to opportunity, over the next 120 days, I'm going to be giving you all the information that I've learned in the progression of starting just as a complete beginner with no experience to starting a consulting business that now does between $50,000 to $60,000 a month. Everything from getting your shit together, teaching you the skills required, landing your first role, showing you how to make more money in your role, and eventually transitioning into starting your own consulting business for the long term. In my opinion, though, while that's important, nobody learns by just sitting there and watching some shitty online course. This is the main reason I dropped out of college, is because when I was in college, it was the COVID year, and I would just sit there and watch lectures all day. It's disgusting. You don't learn from that. The way that people actually learn is by group discussion and coaching/mentoring. So, not only am I going to be giving you all the information that you need, which is still valuable, but it's not the one thing that you need, but I'm also going to be coaching you and working with you directly multiple times every single week so that I can coach you on the spot for anything that you need. Plus that way, if you ever get stuck, I can break you out of it fast, like within an hour or a day, as opposed to you hoping and praying that the next YouTube video or course video that you watch will do that for you. On top of that as well, I've mentioned a few times now that I run a consulting business that does between $50,000 to $60,000 per month. In that business, we work with business owners that are already making great money online, looking to go even further with paid advertising. Those same clients in that business are constantly, every single day, looking for new hardworking people that are serious and disciplined. I have access to over 200, I actually say 300 in here, so somewhere in that range, of these entrepreneurs. And the advantage of working with somebody like me versus anybody else that you see out there is that I can directly place you inside of these businesses instead of you going out and trying everything all on your own. And the way that I teach, and you've probably seen it from this video, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm not going to treat you like some dumb loser. I'm a straight shooter, and I will tell you what you need to hear, even if it doesn't feel good to you. And this will be all the stuff that you've been missing so far that's been stopping you from getting results. This, though, is serious. If you're lazy, if you're looking into more ways to make money online the easy way, and you think that there's going to be riches out there by just hitting some secret button somewhere or taking some magic pill that's going to get you there, just get off this page now and go do something else with your time, because we don't match. You obviously haven't had enough pain yet. Go try some other bullshit for a few months and then come back when you're serious. But if you're ready to make a change and you're serious about advancing in your life to the next level, just like I am and just like the community of men I lead every single day are, go ahead right now and go into the description of this video and book a call below. On this call, I'm not going to be shoving some dog shit down your throat expecting you to buy. That's not what I'm in this for. First, what I'll do is I'll ask you some questions to get a really good understanding of where you're at. Then I'll ask you some questions to get a really good understanding of where you want to get to. And if your mindset and energy aligns with me and the community, I'll show you a little bit more about what I do and how I can help you specifically in some of the finer details involved there. That way as well, if you end up deciding that it's not right for you based on where you're at right now, or you and I come to an agreement that based on where you're at right now, it wouldn't be the best fit, no worries at all. You're just out a little bit of time. All I ask of you, though, if you plan on booking the call, is 3 things. Number 1, you must have a high school level of knowledge on how to communicate with people. Number 2, you must have a burning desire to achieve greatness in all facets of life. Just like this weird burning desire that, your friends may not even have. That you just want to crush it in every single regard of human life. And then I also ask that you're at the point now where you're serious and you're kind of sick and tired of being tired. You're tired of being tired. You're tired of jumping from opportunity to opportunity and making progress on none of them. So if that sounds like you, click the link below in the description, book a time to speak with me. And if you're serious about growing your wealth and making changes and getting to the next level, let's get to the top together. Have a good one.